Thank you for joining us. I'm Yoon Jung-min. We start with a ruling that will go down in the nation's history. Today, the Constitutional Court unanimously upheld the impeachment motion against President Yoon Suk Yeol. It ruled that he abused national emergency powers by declaring martial law, and this was a serious violation of the Constitution. The ruling came 122 days after the now former president declared military ruling. Our correspondent Oh Soo-young reports.
The current time is 11:22 a.m. Ruling. President Yoon Suk Yeol is hereby removed from office.
4 months after President Yoon Suk Yeol's December 3rd martial law, the Constitutional Court on Friday issued a unanimous decision to oust the nation's leader, immediately stripping him of his presidency. All 8 members of the bench decided to uphold the National Assembly's motion to remove Yoon from power, declaring his martial law declaration a grave violation of the Constitution and democratic principles and a betrayal of public trust. Beginning at 11 a.m., Acting Chief Justice Moon Young-bae delivered the collective decision and reasoning, which showed the full bench upheld all 5 grounds for impeachment presented by the National Assembly on how Yoon's martial law disrupted the country's constitutional order. Yoon had made the unprecedented effort of defending himself in his impeachment trial alongside his lawyers. He argued that martial law had been his executive right under the Constitution, which allows the measure to be triggered in times of national emergency, with the need to maintain public order. Yoon has cited the opposition-led National Assembly's legislative abuse, budget cuts, and excessive impeachment motions against his administration as amounting to a state of national emergency. He also raised concerns of election fraud and concluded that he'd declared martial law as a warning or appeal to the nation. The court rejected Yoon's arguments as unacceptable and insufficient.
By declaring martial law in violation of the Constitution and relevant laws, the respondent reenacted the historical abuse of emergency powers, throwing citizens into a state of shock and causing disruption across all areas of society, economy, politics, and diplomacy.
The court found there to be no genuine emergency nor severe disruption of public order to justify Yoon's imposition of the controversial measure. While acknowledging intense political tensions and the opposition's impeachment motions, the court stressed that Yoon had the democratic tools to resolve political disputes without unconstitutional actions. Also, Yoon's martial law did not meet procedural requirements, as he did not sufficiently consult the cabinet, nor did he notify Parliament about his martial law proclamation. Second, the bench said Yoon deployed military and police forces illegally to obstruct the National Assembly, infringing on lawmakers' constitutional rights and undermining democratic governance. Third, Yoon's martial law proclamation banned political activities, violating citizens' basic rights. Also, the former president ordered unwarranted searches of the National Election Commission, breaching its independence. Lastly, Yoon infringed on judicial independence by attempting to locate former senior judges for potential arrest. The ruling comes 111 days after the court case began with the National Assembly's impeachment vote. 11 trial hearings and 60 witness testimonies were held. The deliberation took a record 38 days, 3 times longer than previous presidential impeachment cases. Yoon is now South Korea's second elected leader to be ousted by impeachment after former President Park Geun-hye was removed from office in 2017.
A historic day of reckoning for South Korean democracy, the ruling emphasizes presidential accountability and the urgent need for bipartisan compromise in a deeply divided political climate. As this chapter closes, South Korea moves forward, testing and reinforcing the strengths of its democratic foundations. Oh Soo-young, Arirang News.